right, let's try this again. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Forex.Today YouTube channel. It's Thursday, November 8th, 2018. This is your daily Forex trading strategy session. Hey, Fed interest rate decision day. It's a huge trading day. Let me remind you, if you're watching this as a recording, if you click subscribe, I'll invite you to the live stream that I do every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day. Just click subscribe. Without further ado, let's go. So good morning, how are you? My name is Wayne McDonald. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. And also thank you for the loyalty and respect that you show me and your brothers and sisters here at Forex.Today YouTube channel. Please like and also the charts that I show you, if you want a copy of those, the templates, the charts, the indicators, all that's in the description. Just click it and go ahead and download. Nice, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, so please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. So thank you again also for being a client of Traders Way. And if you have not done so yet, please visit tradersway.com and open up a demo account and test the execution speed, test the trading spreads. If you want, call customer service and find out that it's world class. Maybe one day you'll choose Traders Way for your live account. So, good morning. So we got Draghi speaking this morning. And what? Swiss National Bank speech. Then what? Fed speech. Then what? RBA speech. Then what? Chinese inflation. Yeah, but besides all that, there's nothing going on. That's a crazy day, bro. Wow, huh? Bing, 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 bada boom. So that's all this afternoon. Oh, man, I got it. There we go. Itchy nose today or something. So anyways, big day, huh? That's a big day. PPI, CPI out of China. RBA decision. I mean, that's huge. Fed decision. It's huge. All these Fed speech, central bank speeches. This is huge. 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 Huge, I tell you. How huge? It was so huge. Yeah. Anyways, big trading day. So stay sharp and stay alert today, all through today. Markets can bounce, huh? Bounce with me. Yeah, who cares about the Fed? Stupid reserve currency, right? That's funny. It's a Cliff Bar. Why, you'd like a Cliff Bar? Uh-huh. All right. Let's go. As the yen, still working our way to our target. Trying to squeeze this in there. I guess I should go to an hourly. Okay. We're pretty close to the target. Why don't we just call it 83? Oh, basically there. The aggressive target for the month is 84. The aggressive target for the week, 83.62. Conservative target for the week, 83.05. So there's this 83.05, 83.20. So this is a top for the month, conservative top. This is the conservative top for the week. Seems like we're approaching resistance, huh? Sarcasm. What do you think? Okay. And of course, if you're planning on this going up for the rest of the year, at some point it's going to come up, come down, and then probably rise again next week, huh? Very nice. Very nice. Remember, we set it all up from a double bottom. Right? 1, 2, 3. If you look at that and you missed it, and don't take it as a criticism or something. You just have to just be. No criticism. Okay. What makes somebody miss something? A, they were not looking for it. This is totally fine. Or B, I guess it's kind of the same thing. You didn't plan for it. See, if you were a bear, you would have sold here and here. Very simple, right? And if you're a bull, well, we set this up as it was still falling, and then we set it up as it was reacting, and then higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Okay. So if you trade Aussie yen and you didn't get this, and here's the bigger part, and you were not a bear. See, a bear is absolutely fine for missing this because a bear tried to sell here, and a bear probably thought about it here. I don't know if they got a chance or not. They certainly thought about it here and didn't really get a chance. So they were just wrong. I don't have a problem with you being wrong. I don't have a problem with me being wrong. That doesn't mean you lose money. It just means your bias is incorrect or the market conditions are not favorable for your bias, but okay. But missing it means you simply don't have a plan, and that's a bigger issue that you need sort of personal strength and fortitude to even admit it to yourself. Like if I asked it to you just fairly nicely in the webinar and you had like a negative reaction to it emotionally, like why? What is it that you're guarding, right? And I would ask myself the tougher questions, because I did ask myself the tougher questions. Like, if you're a bull and you missed it, why? Why? What was going on here at the double bottom? You could say, well, that was just too aggressive. And I'm like, okay, I totally agree with that. So that's why we have things like the 1, 2, 3. And if you miss that, you can, well, it's still fairly early. Okay, I'll give you that one as well. But then what about this one? And what about that one? And then, so on and so forth. Now, I remember we talked about this heading down to the 4-hour 21. Do you remember that? Well, right, it didn't happen. But is there still an opportunity to learn from this? How did the market behave? It didn't retrace as much as we'd like in out of position market. Remember talking about that? So what also did we talk about an out of position swing trade? Marina, I don't know if that's what you mean by a missed pivot. Okay, there's two pieces on a out of position trade like this. One, you wait for the retracement to the 21 to enter. What's the other side of that? What's number two? I don't believe that would be the case, Stacy. Unless you're counting like the fractional spread or something, then it's more like a 6 pip spread. But I've never seen anything like that at Trader's Way, so I'm not sure what you saw. Yeah, I'm not sure, Marina. I look for very specific things, Marina. So, and then to me, they're also zones. So I don't know. I don't make that big of a deal about a touched pivot unless it touched it perfectly. And then I'm like, yeah, well, that filled the plan. But this is a whole zone for me. So if I got a 5/8 cross up in here, then I take it and I don't count it as a missed. Okay. Yeah, Stacy, you're probably the fractional pricing system. You don't, like at Trader's Way, for example, instead of counting like just 1 pip and 2 pip, they give you fractions of 1 pip. Okay, fractions. So you probably saw like 5.6 pips, which is still fairly large for Aussie yen, but depending on time of day, market volume. See, like the broker doesn't necessarily set the spread. It's not like someone is sitting at Trader's Way, like pulling strings all day, like, here comes Stacy, jack the spreads, right? No, it has to do with the interbanking system. So if you're trading right before important news, or you're trading when no one else is trading, meaning like the middle of the night, there's no one to take the other side of your trade. And therefore, you have to attract these people, right? To take the other side of the trade, you have to reach farther for the fruit, and the spread just goes a little higher. And that's just the function of the interbanking system, right? So if you're trading at like 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, yeah, spreads are going to be higher because you're practically the only person on the planet trading. Or if you trade right before a major news event, everyone is out, everyone else is getting out of their trade, or they're not looking to trade because they're actually scared about the volatility. But maybe you took a scalping course from somebody who got you excited about trading when no one else on the planet wants to trade. And what happens is your spread will widen, which you don't want when you're scalping because you're only trying to make 10 pips and now your spread is 6 pips, right? So you just doubled your workload, which is doubling the risk. Well, whatever, guys. We'll get to it. So, Marina, I don't think I answered your question very well, but, I think Rob Booker sells something about missed pivots and stuff like that. So I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. But I want to look at the bigger picture more than rules. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, right? So if you give me rules, I'm just going to find ways to break rules, right? Or at least bend the rules as much as I can without actually breaking them. That's what an entrepreneur does. Okay. So anyways, in this case, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Like, this was a monthly swing plan off a double bottom, so I'm done, right? It's just, that's that. So the point I'm getting at now, guys, is that what we wanted, now we didn't get it, but what we wanted was a retracement back to the 4-hour 21 and then have it rise. Nobody said anything about selling, right? No, that's all right. Right, Stacy? Keep asking great questions. So we never had a sell on this. We only wanted to buy. I preferred, how about that? I preferred to buy it a little lower off the 21. Okay. Now what you end up doing is up to you, right? Now the second thing when you're out of position is if you hit your, if or when you hit your target, you set yourself up for a counter trend trade because it's not actually this week's swing trade. This is last week's swing trade. You see what I mean? It's these guys that are in it or these guys that are in it. But when we get way up here, it's going to fall. Okay? I don't know if it is, but mentally speaking, like intellectually speaking, I tell myself it is going to fall. it's 100% chance this is coming down, right? Or how about this is going to stop going up? Now, of course, I don't know that, but that's what I tell myself. I look at this and I say, this is a double bottom, right? We blew through the weekly, last week's target, and now we're blowing through this week's target, and we're just moving. The velocity is just like redonkulous. Now we're hitting a cluster of weekly and monthly pivots. Okay. Yeah, Rob Booger. I've met him several times. He seems like a really nice guy. When I used to go to all the conferences and do all the speaking and traveling and stuff, I do a speech on trading pivot points and moving averages and multiple time frames. And I was very just sort of probably just calculated, right? And then I hear about other webinars and they're like, oh, Rob Booker's presentation was fantastic. I'm like, what was it about? Oh, like monkeys smoking cigarettes, and he was throwing T-shirts into the audience and like singing songs. And I'm like, really? Wow, all I have is my pivot points. But anyways. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. If I was a scalper, I would look for an opportunity. Now, I don't think I wouldn't plan for a crash, right? In fact, if I was a bull, I'm already preparing for next week. Okay, you see how I stink? I'm thinking about next week's trades. All I've got is a red guitar, 3 chords, and the truth. All I've got is a red guitar. The rest is up to you. Does anybody know that one? Okay. So there's my concerns with that. Okay. I think there's a huge lesson in here for you to go through yourself. If you missed it and you were a bull, redo it. Redo it. And the whole point, and I remember even saying it, right? The money is made by making the decision. You know what? Maybe it is a Bob Dylan thing, but I thought it was the guitar player. Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix. Thank you, Will. Yes. So anyways, the money is made by making the decision. Once you've made the decision, buying that dip, buying that dip, buying that dip, hitting target and taking profit should be easy. It's the patience and discipline people lack and the decision-making process that the people lack. And they think it's all the moving averages and it's all the technicals and it's all price. Price is right. Price is blah, 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 blah. Just have a plan and carry it out. That, right? Hendrix covered Dylan. That's why it seemed right when Martin said Bob Dylan. I'm like, you know what? It probably sounds like Bob Dylan, so it must be a Bob Dylan song that Hendrix was doing. But I know Hendrix version. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And maybe, just maybe, no. See, I don't want to get involved. If you recall, and here's one of those things, Wayne, you have so many lines. Well, I've been waiting for this to drop for just weeks now, and it still hasn't happened, so forget about it. I don't want to even look at it. WTI, I've been waiting for this to rise for weeks. Still waiting. Still waiting. Okay, still waiting. Yeah, always drop. You have to see. Luis asked about dropping into smaller time frames when you take your shot and then managing your stop and stuff like that. I like to describe it this way. I like to scalp into every trade I make. I like to scalp into long-term positions. Okay? So one way you can enter a long-term position is let's say you buy at support and you use 150 pip stop loss. That would work. You'd have to be very, very, very wrong to get knocked out of that trade. And if you are that wrong, you got some other things you need to address, okay? Which is fine. But if I decided to buy this right now, let's say this is the decision. I wouldn't say it's the right decision, but let's say I just made the decision. Okay, on the 4 hour, I'm playing it like a triple bottom. Great. And I'd work my way down to here, okay? I'd probably trade something like this, okay? And I buy a dip and then off I go, HOTTOGO, okay? And I'm going to scalp on a 5-minute chart, but my decision, my strategy is based on the 4 hour, and then my tactics is based here or here on a 15-minute chart. And I think the 15-minute chart is like a perfect chart. Okay? Make it a sense? That's for you, Luis. Okay, let's take a look at this. Wow. There we go. It wouldn't switch. Okay. What are you on this, a bull or a bear? Bulls would buy it in this zone. So now I'm going to drop into a 5-minute chart. Okay. And I might look for something like this. And if you're going to use an oscillator, the next turn up would be good, especially if that occurred somewhere in here now. I would suspect, if I was me, I would suspect a 50% to 618. You could even drop into the single. Okay. This is euro dollar. Okay. See how I break it down really quick? I make a decision on a high time frame. That's the strategy. Okay. Then I drop into a small time frame and I set it up tactically. Now I'm kicking down doors. Okay. This isn't AWACS stuff. This is kicking down doors. Nothing pretty about this. It's just hard work. Thank you for all the questions, guys. And would you be kind and do the like? No, that's a bot. Oh my God. Dinero? Dude, I have it fibbed pointing up with arrows off of what? I just said if you're a bull, this is your buy zone. And then I dropped into a 5-minute, did a fib off of the buy zone. Then I dropped into a 1-minute and drew an arrow going up. I mean, what are you talking about? Dinero, come on, Dinero. Maybe you just walked in. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay. And that's only based on if you're a bull. Okay, I'm not saying you should be a bull, but if you're a bull, this is your daily buy zone, so you should probably be ready. Okay. Okay, it's only daily pivots, so we don't know if they're right. We don't know how right they are. This is why I like to also have weeklies in there too, right? Okay, now you zoom back in. Anything going on a weekly basis that might be helpful? I guess what we could do is indicator list. No, let's do it this way. Let's delete this one. Let's go in here. We've already marked the daily buy zone, so let's move this from daily, false, to weekly, true, and see if that overlaps. That's going to be easier to see. Okay. And on a weekly basis, we're kind of just hanging in no man's land, right? And that would sort of prove mediocrity in the trade plan. Euro Aussie, 1,000 pips down. Why is 1,000 pips emotionally important? All right, let's do, what do we want? Pound dollar. Still kind of stuck, okay? So here's another example of the double bottom we set up. Do you see the perfect monthly swing? We had this calculated as, what was it, 127? We said 127 would be the bottom for the month of November. 127. Okay. What's the date now? The 8th. 8 days later, we're at 131. $400 pips, right? 400 pips. Seems doable, right? Not much to add to that. There's not a lot of pullbacks yet. Now, there's a lot of questions about like Euro Aussie, and somebody said something else. Let me start like trying to pull some of these out, because these are not pairs that I cover every day. Aussie Kiwi, I'll take a look at that one. That's not one I trade high volt, but we can take a look at it. Okay, let's do it this way. Let me clean up my charts. La, 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 la. Okay, you're supposed to take profit and be done. If you're a bear, you're supposed to be out. Okay. See that? This line here? You were supposed to have exited at what, 157? Quite see that. Yeah. So you were supposed to be out at 157. Now you'll say, well, Wayne, it fell another 40 pips. Yeah, well, I don't care about that. Okay. Understand? That's it. You say, well, it fell another 40 pips. Yeah, but that's unpredictable. And to me, that's not something that is conservative, nor is it repeatable. Okay? And you might say, if you stayed in it, you might say, well, you got lucky. And I'd say, no, you got unlucky because you're going to have to learn 5 or 10 more times the hard way. It's moving beautifully and technically. Okay? Double top. Lower low. What's the secret word? I'm it. Support becomes resistance. Okay. Support becomes resistance. And now we're just like way out here. Riding the 21, riding the moving averages are fantastic. All of that is now irrelevant. Okay. Because you're supposed to get out at that price 100% of the time. Okay. And that's it. Now I wonder if I can, let's do this. Indicators. Monthly. Cool. Okay. Let's count how often this pair has been outside. Maybe it has to do with the pair. Outside the pivot. See how we're up below? So this one's inside, this one's inside. This one's way above. Okay. Inside, inside, way below. All right. Inside, way above, above, above. So whoever's trading this, in fact, here's what I'm going to argue. Okay? Here's what I'm going to argue. People are not actually proactively trading Euro Aussie this way. The Euro is moving, there's no doubt. The Aussie is moving, there's no doubt. But they're moving independent of people trading Euro Aussie. And the way I get to that conclusion is they're not using these monthly pivots as much as you see on other pairs. Like this just blew right through, and this, So I'd almost argue if you are going to trade it now, I'd pay less attention to these monthlies. I mean, like that's a nice buy, but it's not respecting them well. I mean, look at R3, and then inside, and then, well, it's using it here. R3. What else is it doing? What is this? This would be S2, S3. What is this? S4. I mean, this is weird. This is weird, bro. Yeah. So, and maybe this is why I don't trade this pair. I don't disagree with like sort of the fundamentals and the change in trends and stuff like that, but that's not what you want pivot points to do. So maybe I take it back. I just wouldn't use. Okay, I just wouldn't use monthlies. They're not that important to me for some reason on this. So now that gets you just back to price action. But this still looks like an area where you're supposed to be taking profits soon. Okay. I mean, even now, look where we are. And look at this. What? So yeah, you shouldn't be thinking about getting in. You should be planning on getting out. So, okay. So there's that, which is interesting because I think it's been years and years and years. Maybe that was the first time ever I took pivot points off because I don't think they're reliable enough. And that's why I think you might be trading Euro Aussie, but everyone else is trading Euro independently of everyone else trading Euro Aussie, and combining them together. Yeah, you get a flow, but you're not getting people entering trades at technical levels, right? So you're just trading pure fundamentals there. Just okay, that's my opinion. Anyways, someone else, Euro Kiwi. Okay, probably going to get something very similar, but let's take a look at that. Do I even have it? Yes. You are not alone. Okay. Okay, and it's giving me the same sort of thing. You shouldn't be getting into a trade. You should be getting out of a trade. Now, let's analyze and see if it's like the other pair. Take a look at a year of monthly pivot points. And respect, 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 respect. Yeah, so this one works much nicer. Oh, yeah, gorgeous, right? Inside, 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 inside. Beautiful. Look at it. It's printing well. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. Nice. Gorgeous. 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 So I'd much rather trade Euro Kiwi than Euro Aussie based on how traders are trading it. And once again, I get the same conclusion, however. This is where you're supposed to get out of your trade and take the rest of the week off, take the rest of the month off, maybe. And bullish scalpers, okay, a bullish scalper is going to start looking for reversals here, okay, up to the 21, okay, down, up to the 55, down to the 21. Okay, that's what a scalper is going to start looking for. This trailing cursor drives you nuts? Really? Sorry, pick. No one's ever said that to me before. That makes you special. All right. Other requests? Let me go back through the chat. Euro Kiwi, Aussie Kiwi, Euro Aussie, Euro Pound. Okay, so we can do that. We could do like, yeah, we'll do Euro Pound. Cash says, you're a bullish scalper. Oh, good job. Now, hopefully you get a setup. Just realize you still got a lot of risk. All right, let's go into here. Let's clear out charts. Okay. Beautiful out of position trade here. And it did use the 21. Well, that's a 1 hour though. Okay, cool. Wow, look at that, huh? That's the counter trend trade if you hit your target on a Tuesday. Oh my gosh. All right, so what do you do now? Nothing. The only thing here at the moment is bearish. Okay. It's not a really good place to be entering trades, but let's go into a 15-minute chart. Okay. What you want to see if you're going to be a bear is you kind of want to keep it below that. Maybe you want to have it like this. It's so late in the cycle. Okay. It's pretty late in the cycle. I wouldn't even be shocked if it went up consolidated before it did something else. But I think the odds are you get a move like this. Do you guys have thoughts on that? Would you concur? Jed says it's actually bothersome. It must come across differently on YouTube, right? Bullish. Well, okay, so let's bust that apart. So Mr. Highvolt says he was bullish in Euro Pound. Okay, so let's look at it. Where's your support? Okay, you can't enter a bullish trade without support, right? So where's your support? No, I know, but you still have to. The first question is, where's your support? You can't even like have a bullish plan if you don't have support, right? So the other thing you could say is, well, you're a bull, but just not now, right? Kind of thing. For me to have a bullish plan, I would want to see something up into here and something down into here, and then I would buy, right? Then I would buy, and then I'd say, okay, I'm going to use this as support, higher high, higher low, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we don't have that, so it doesn't exist at the moment. Look left. How far left do I have to go? I guess you're trying to connect. Even these, if you're to connect them, are lower. I guess you're saying we bounced off this level. Okay, well it still has to prove to me, like I just showed you, it still has to make a higher high, higher low for me to buy it. Okay. Okay. We need to be up here before I'm on that clue train. Yeah. Okay. You're just on a whole different time frame. Okay. Around a whole, so you're looking way out there, and I'm suggesting there may be people that want to bring it down and double bottom it down here before it goes up, kind of stuff, right? Patience, grasshopper, patience. Okay. My bigger thing was it doesn't seem like everything just seems late. Like it just seems late. Like look at all this move, and this was a hard one to catch. But like trading down here is just it's ugly. It's ugly. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, up, down, down, buy. Up, up, down, down, buy. Up, up, right? Like this? What the heck is this, right? So to me, it's kind of ugly trading. So it feels done to me, but whatever. All right, another one. Euro yen, maybe? Euro pound, sell to buy. Well, what I'm trying to tell you, Fungo, is I'm not really interested in either. But if I had to, I would be considering a short-term scalp. Okay? But, you know, when I have a plan where it's fibbed down and I have a line at a retracement level, and then a line heading down, I kind of can assume that you understand what that means, right? When I draw a trade plan like this, right? So Fungo, when it says Euro pound buy or sell, and I draw that, I have to assume you understand what that means. I can't describe that any differently. Advanced patterns. What's an advanced pattern? That sounds so interesting. Yeah, Pharaoh says he didn't get alerted when I went live, and then yesterday, I think was the same thing. Instead of hundreds of people here, it was like 20. I'm like, that was weird. So let me ask you something. I was thinking about maybe paying for a service that maybe you guys can subscribe there, and it's not something like I can email you something, but like that's something that would just pop up and say Wayne's webinar started and bring you in. Would you be okay if I did that so you could subscribe at YouTube and on this other thing, and all it would do is kind of give you the pop-up alert, bring you in? Okay. Yeah, sure. I wasn't sure what an advanced pattern was. That's all. How long have I been streaming? 45 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, anyways, subscribe. Make sure you click the little belly thing. All right, so let's see. No, we did Euro Pound Rustaman. We just did it like 8 minutes ago. What else? I'm going through the chat looking at requests. Aussie Swissy. All right, I haven't done Aussie Swissy. Maybe ever. I probably have it here, maybe. Yeah, the reason for all Rand or all, let's say, frontier market currency strength has to do with the improvement of macroeconomic conditions. Okay, Aussie dollar, Aussie Swiss. Here's your Aussie Swissy. Cool. So let's figure out what my past analysis was. I had plan A was here, and plan B was buy here, right? Remember, plan A, buy in here, like, right? And then plan B was buy in here. How did I do? Remember, I have no moving averages, no pivot points. I have nothing but candles. And those were the trade plans. Okay. Yeah, Pharaoh says never heard of advanced. Well, I only use super advanced patterns. Okay. Do you guys remember doing this? I mean, I have nothing to add to that. I mean, we can bust it out and say, well, there's a little bit of resistance here, but I've already marked it and we're kind of heading through it. But you could readjust and call it that, but it's the same thing to me. So if we're going through, the next thing you do is kind of connect this and connect that and connect this and connect that and that and this and that and that and say that's going to be the next challenge. Would you agree with that? All I have is support and resistance here. Dang, really? Am I doing structure-based trading? Awesome. Yeah, I'm self-taught, so I don't know. Cool. Cool. Right on. Look at that. I'm a structure-based trader. I thought I was just a trend trader with price action. So anyways, this is a naked chart trade setup we did together. Honestly, nobody remembers doing this one? Everyone's giving me all these things. No. I'm teaching you how to trade on your own. Like, I'm setting these things up, and if I set them up and you can't take them on your own, then you got bigger issues to work on, like planning your trades. Yeah. Okay. So when was this? This was in the beginning of October. Plan A, Plan B. We did. No, nobody cares about Swissy. That might be true, Mickey. How's the weather in Detroit? It's getting cold, I bet. I got to head back to Cambridge, not this weekend, next weekend. I bet you it's significantly colder than 3 weeks ago. Two weeks ago I was there, so probably significantly colder already. Cold and damp. Yeah. Cold but nice. Jim, you're in Detroit too? Interesting. Yeah, I would, like, if I'm setting them up like this, where I'm giving multiple buy areas, and if you're a bull, and this is a roll reversal, and this is there, and then you're going to have a target, and if that doesn't work, your plan B should be in here, and then you should look for double bottoms and higher highs and higher lows and roll reversals, and all this should go up, and it should go up to about this point where you hit the next level of resistance. And then someone's like, yeah, but he never pulls the trigger. He never tells me when to trade. Like, dude, yeah, like, what more do you need? Right? Okay. What I would like for you guys is that you learn how to do all this on your own, and that you become wildly successful, and that ain't never gonna happen if you just sit here on YouTube waiting for me to pull the trigger. You get it? So I'd rather teach you, and I very often feel like I'm even going too far to set you up with trades. If you still don't take it, then it's a whole different, you got other things to work on. And that's not a negative criticism. Like I said on that other Aussie end, where I'm like, it's a double bottom, and then it'll probably make a higher high, higher low, 1, 2, 3, and then I talk about that and about hammocks and about the whole Navy thing and the drills, and then that's followed up by another high, higher low, roll reversal on top of a weekly pivot swing. Like, dude, if you're missing all of that, you need to start breaking this down into small pieces and focus on developing the skills and understanding of each component of those trades. Me pulling the trigger on those trades for you, making all the decisions for you, first of all, it's not an educational experience. And second of all, you don't pay me to manage your money. And you probably don't have enough money for me to manage. So I'm trying to teach you how you can make these decisions yourself. And that is really, 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 really important. Okay. So anyways, Aussie. Okay. For example, the standard operating procedure for trading a bullish monthly swing trade is to buy in here, and the target is the gray zone up there. So let me ask you something. If you were a bull and you knew how to trade swing trades, you have the basic understanding of you're looking to buy, and your aggressive target for the month of November is there. So we know ahead of time if you happen to already be a bull. Now, that means you've already made that decision, and you probably didn't make the decision here. You were a bull at some point for whatever reason. Maybe you live in Australia. Good enough. The thing is, you were a bull. Now, on top of that, if you know how to swing trade, that is so obviously perfect, like smack dab in the middle, sweet spot, drive it down the center of the fairway setup. You don't need me to tell you, you should pull the trigger, 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 you should pull, I mean, dude, you don't need me to do that. And meanwhile, I'm only here an hour a day. This is 3 weeks worth of price action. What am I going to do in this particular hour, right? So I want you to step back from that whole mindset of like, when you put me in a trade, put me in a trade, put me in a trade. No, I want you to be hugely successful, and you're not going to listen to a guy like me. You're not going to listen to the people on TV. You're not going to read the newspapers and make trading decisions based on what you read in the Wall Street Journal or the Investor Business Daily or the Financial Times. I used to even have newspapers flown in from Japan. I am not kidding. I used to have newspapers, financial newspapers. It was the Nikkei Weekly. Every week I had newspapers flown in from Japan so I could read what was happening in the local market and the concerns about politics and economics and an unfiltered sort of point of view of what was going on at the Bank of Japan. I don't do any of that anymore, and I simply focus on my own analysis. Instead of reading the numbers in the newspaper, I go to the central bank and I grab it, or I go to the IMF and I grab it, or I go to the World Bank and I grab it, or I go to OPEC or EIA or IEA websites and I get it. I download the reports from the Fed and I read them, okay? And I want you to be in that situation where you don't need a guy like me to hold your hand and say, if you're a bull and you know how to swing trade, bing, 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 bing. There are so many trades here. There's hundreds of trades here on smaller time frames. Okay? So I want to get you to the point where you're like, oh, I'm an Aussie dollar bull, and I think this is support. So if it starts to go up, then I'm going to buy it. Okay? So I hope I didn't overdo that, but it's important because we've been getting newer people in the last few days, and they're like, why doesn't he put me into a trade? Because I love you, and I want you to succeed. Okay? Okay. Okay? I respect you too much to tell you what to do, because I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'm right any more than you know you're right. But I am trying to give you skills so you make decisions and carry out your plans. That's all I care about. Okay? Gary, just email me, Wayne at FX Bootcamp. But yeah, the price of the courses at FX Bootcamp have been going up because of demand. And we're also adding new courses. So if you're like, hey man, a month ago I wanted to buy it, but I've been waiting. Email me, Wayne at fxbootcamp.com. And I'm an honorable guy. So we'll find out. We'll look at it and see what we can do for you. Yeah, Will says you learn by doing it yourself. It doesn't hurt to have a guide or a mentor. But when was the last time, like, Tiger Woods had his coach go out and hit a few shots in the middle of the tournament? Because, I don't care if you're the number one golfer in the world, you have a coach. Why? You're the best golfer in the world. Your coach doesn't have to be the best golfer in the world. But also, the coach doesn't go out in the middle of the fairway in the tournament and hit the shot for you. All right? So at the end of the day, you need to make your shots. You need to win your tournaments. Okay? And that means taking care of your family. Okay? And I can help you with that. All right. Any other obscure USD Singapore dollar, huh? All right. Now, the Singapore dollar is interesting because it's a basket of currencies. Did you guys know that? I don't know if I even have it on this platform. I'll just put it here. I'm sure we do. So anyways, yeah, here it is. All right, Singapore dollar. Hey, Daniel, are you in the room? My good friend Daniel lives in Singapore. Oh, I'm not sure what you mean by back tested. I mean, these are common. Your trading strategy is common sense. You don't, I mean, go ahead and back test it, but back test what? Double bottoms and double tops, you know. Anyways, but yeah. All right, Singapore dollar is actually a basket of currencies, and it's mostly, well, nobody knows. But I'm under the impression there's a lot of Great British Pound. Oh, journaling, absolutely. But journaling has more to do than proving that you're right or wrong. Journaling is improving. So 1/3 of my book is how to journal properly. Shug, oh, no way. I want to get back to Singapore. I love me in Singapore. You should see me in Singapore. I'm awesome. I love the fake arrogance. Anyways, no, I love Singapore. Singapore is great in the winter. Sure says, wow, oh my God, dude, no disrespect, but if you're trading with no, I didn't say there was no plan. Where'd you get that? I plan that's my whole message, sure. Every trade you need is a plan, but you're talking about back testing one particular strategy. I don't have one particular strategy. Okay. But yeah, so anyways, Singapore dollar can be a safe haven for sure. But there is a lot of British pound into it. So it's funny, you're talking about Singapore, yet we have Brexit risk into it, right? So I used to look at it as a sort of risk on, risk off currency. And I'm not entirely sure you can do it now because of Brexit. Okay. So I think that's just the interesting part of Singapore dollar is it's a basket. Yeah. Oh, no. It's all about strategy. And that's the thing I preach over and over and over again. First of all, you need a bias. Okay. And then you need a trade plan to carry out your bias. Yeah. Okay. De Niro wants me to go back to euro dollar. Yeah, why not? I guess we're getting pretty close to the end, so why not go back to the beginning? We'll open up a different chart and we'll get a different point of view and we'll come up with a different decision maybe. We'll see. Okay. All right, so where are we going for the month of November? Thank you, Lady Cash. Yeah, I can be silly. All right. So the way you answer that question will determine what you do next. Okay? So those are the two areas that are important on this chart. So when I ask you, where are we going? There's only two choices. Okay? Bulls are going here. And they're convinced of it. They're quite confident in it. Okay? Bears, conversely, are convinced that they're doing this. Okay? So suresh. Now your trade plans come in. Depending on what your bias is, your trade plans are going to follow, but you have to have strategy first. So that is strategy. Is the euro dollar going up or it's going down? And you can filter this a little bit and say, well, what's the prevailing trend? Okay? And honestly, it's probably 50-50. Okay? You say down, but these bulls are convinced that that was support. They're absolutely, totally convinced about this double bottom. Bears will say, well, it's been a prevailing down for a while. Okay, cool. Well, one of y'all is right. We don't know which one. Nor is it for me to tell you you're right or wrong, because I don't know either. Okay? So, here's what you need to do if you're going to trade. Bulls are in a buying position if they're bullish. Because we know that this is a buy and that is a buy. These are the prices. Basic swing trading. Okay? And from that, bulls are setting up trade plans. And they're buying dips. Okay? And they're going to buy dips as long as they're above this area here. Okay? So this is what bulls are doing on this time frame. Typically, I drop into a different chart so you don't have all these lines, but I'm just giving you the example. That's called out of position. So when it opens out of position, you use the 4-hour 21. I suggest you take the swing trading course. It's, what is it, 12 hours of videos on how to swing trade? Okay. So anyways, on the small time frame, this is what bulls are doing. Now, do we know if they're right? Do we know if they're going to be profitable? No, we do not. But we know the price in which they want to start. So you can start on the small time frame. You can bust it out on a 15-minute chart and do the same. Really, it's the same trade plan on a higher time frame. Let's say now you're waiting for a higher high, higher low, and your trade plan is still buy a dip. But now you're buying a dip here versus, right, you're buying a 15-minute dip instead of a 5-minute dip. Okay? Or you go out to an hour and you do the same thing there, so on and so forth. But you know this is a price to buy if you're a bull. Okay? That's all we know. If you're a bull, this is the price you start looking for green candles. And then you create green candles too by adding trades. Okay? Bears have already sold up here. They took, I call this an Arctic turtle, where we stretched a little higher, we grabbed the weekly, and now it's collapsed. And what are bears going to do now? Bears are going to do this. Okay? They disagree with the bulls. You can see that's what this trade plan here was. Okay? Kind of use that as a guide, perhaps. Okay? So which one is that going to work? Which one of these is going to work? I don't know. Do you know? No, you don't. You can guess, you can gamble, you can squawk all you want. You don't know. But one of those is likely to work. So plan A for a bull is to buy into here. Okay? So let me also add another element of surprise here. You see how this occurred on the first day of the month? That is unequivocally a buy if you're a bull. Now, if you're a bear, you're going to ignore that. Okay, fine. That's why biases act as filters. So if you're a bull, oh my God, that's like, oh my God, such a buy. That's so obvious. It doesn't get more obvious than that if you're a bull. But again, it's not going to make you a bull. Your fundamental bias makes you a bull. So, but if you're a bull on the first day of the month, that's like slap in the face, like that's a buy. Okay? Great. So if you're a bull, what's the weekly swing trade plan for the week? Correct, Rid. Correct. What's the swing trade of the week if you're a bull? And you were a bull last week. Okay, great. So now you're a bull this week. What was the trade plan on Sunday night during the swing trading group meeting? What would we have planned? The answer to that question was this is a buy and this is the target. So the part I don't know is, did all the bulls from here and here take profit? I don't know. Is that the end? I mean, that's supposed to be the end of the trading of this pair for the week. If you're a bull, you're done for the week. I often call this my docent setup. I mean, you can counter trade this, but what I often tell people is you should take the rest of the week off and volunteer at a museum as a docent and, you know, take old people around in their wheelchair and say, you know, this is a fabulous example of Rococo, right? Okay. So I don't know how many people are still in this trade. I don't know how many bulls want to buy this dip. I don't know how many bears are excited about this drop. These are things I don't know. But we do know that if there are bulls left, they are buyers at that price. And if they don't buy there, I'll probably ignore this until next week. And that means bears will get this correct. And they'll take it down, probably work our way down between now and Sunday down to a double bottom. Okay? But that's bullish if you're a bullish monthly swing trader. That's bullish if you're a bullish weekly swing trader. And what we have here is now sort of your third chance of the week, which is a lot less exciting. But you could say, if you were a bull here and you were a bull here, you could certainly argue that we're on our way to our target for the month of November. Okay? And that is here. So your plan is probably more like this, and then a dip maybe over the weekend, and then maybe Monday or Tuesday you buy it back, and you know we're on our way doing that. That's why this is a buy zone for bulls. But I just don't know if there are bulls there, nor do you. And if there's no bulls there, then that's going to give bears a chance, and that would set up a double bottom. And as a bull, I could say, well, if it doesn't go up here, I could take the rest of the week off, and maybe by Monday, I'll have an opportunity to buy a double bottom. And that's called Plan B, right? But I'm not freaking out. I'm just like, well, that's definitely a buy, and that's definitely a buy. And this is sort of like, could be a buy. But if it's not a buy, then it's bye-bye for me. Take the rest of the week off, go kayaking or something, you know, spend my day growing my beard, and then come back next week and buy it down there. Okay? Shurish, take the swing trading course at fxbootcamp.com. Okay? Do I use RSI? I used to use RSI. And then I used 3 RSIs on top of each other. And then I started getting the same information on a Stokes. So I just used Stokes. And now I just see it. I mean, I can just see it. I can just calculate it with my mind. So I don't use MACD. I can see the MACD right now. I can see it. and the Stokes and all that. So to me, it's just not necessary. Okay. But I have no problem with you using Stokes. It's an oscillator. Cool. So anyways, I got to jump, babe. It was real. Please subscribe. Click on the little belly thing so that if you click on the bell, when I hit start, you're invited and it pings you. Okay? Please like. Would you do that? And if this is a recording, would you please leave a comment? Where's my mouse? I'm going to do it like this. Okay? Please leave a comment. Even if you're watching now, right? Refresh your page in 3 minutes and go to the recording and leave a comment there. Just say hi, say thanks, say thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. If you are new to these webinars and you like my chart setup, you're like, oh my God, if I only had Wayne's pivots, then I'd be successful. In the description below is a download link for all my chart templates, all my profiles, all of these profiles, and all the charts inside each of these profiles, and all the indicators on each chart, pivot points, MACD, stochastics, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, all of that is all there. Just click the download link and download it for free. And there's also some like coupon codes and stuff in there for you as well, or discounts. So anyways, thank you for being on my team. Please visit Trader's Way, open up a demo account there, give us an opportunity to earn your business. We'd appreciate that. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And I will see you tomorrow. Cheers.